everyone. Now we are going to talk about setting goals in your Reading Plus class. You may remember from the previous recording these Lexile bands. Remember that a Lexile shows your current reading score, and the 9th and 10th grade Lexile band is 1080 to 1305. Reading Plus is one of the programs we use at CMA to help scholars improve their reading comprehension scores. Students who are in Reading Plus have been placed there because there is a deficiency in reading that places them just below grade level. The STAR test that you took helped us to identify this. Scholars need to be between 966 and 1150 to be placed into Reading Plus. Now, your teacher has given you your Reading Plus goal sheet for this year. Let's take a minute and look at your goal sheet and your insight test as well as your STAR test. In the middle of your page, you will see that you have a section for insight test goals. The insight test has 4 scores: a proficiency index, comprehension level, a vocabulary level, and a reading rate or words per minute. Let's take a look at these numbers and what they mean. At the top of your data sheet, you will see that you have a Lexile score. This is listed under STAR test number 1. This is your Lexile score from the STAR test you took this school year in August. Again, this is going to be below 1150. The next section of your Reading Plus goal sheet has your insight data from test 1. This is the test you took once you were placed into the Reading Plus program so that the program could begin on your level. Now, I like these numbers because they tell me a little bit more about a student's Lexile. A Lexile is a general number that says this student reads at this grade level, but it does not identify explicitly what is going on with the student and where we can improve. The insight test does that. So you can see here this student has these 4 scores: in proficiency index a 10.3, in comprehension an 11, a vocabulary level of 10.8, and a reading rate or words per minute of 208. The first 3 scores, the proficiency index, the comprehension level, and the vocabulary level, are all grade level equivalents. What that means is this student has a proficiency index of grade 10 in 3 months. So this student, if it is a 10th grader, is at grade level for proficiency index, or if the student is a 9th grader, is above proficiency index. Comprehension level at grade 11, and vocabulary level at grade 10 in 8 months. The difference is that reading rate is not given on a grade level equivalent. Instead, you have a number of the words that you have read silently per minute, and this is an equivalent to a grade level reading rate. Now, your teacher has a chart that he or she will pass out in just a moment to help you see exactly where you fall, but we're going to reference that now. This student has a reading rate or words per minute of 208. This is the chart you're going to receive, and you will see that your G rate goal is your words per minute. So if the student is reading 208 words per minute, you see that he or she falls at the 7th grade silent comprehension reading level. This means in Reading Plus, the student will be placed in a C reader level of G. What this data tells me is that while the student is close to reading at a proficient level for a 10th grader, and most of these scores are great, this student needs to read more slowly in order to comprehend at the grade level he or she needs to be reading at. There's nothing wrong with this. It does tell us that this student needs to work on reading more quickly as he or she reads silently. Reading Plus is designed to help a student do that. Now let's talk about setting your actual goals. At the top, you will see that you have a place to set a goal for your STAR test. STAR test 1, again, was given in August 2015. And you have an asterisk there that tells you that the STAR test will be given every 9 weeks. Therefore, it will happen in September, October, December, March, and May. While this is true, and these are the numbers we're going to use to set your goals, you will actually take the STAR test every 4.5 weeks. This is so that we can progress monitor your growth. This means that teachers can look at your scores and see if you are making positive growth in STAR and with your Lexile in order to make sure that Reading Plus is the right reading program for you. So these tests, the progress monitoring, like I said, will be given every 4.5 weeks. So you will also have one in September and November and February and April. The next STAR test that will go on your goal setting sheet will occur in October. Now, let's talk about your goal. What is a reasonable goal to set? From the previous PowerPoint, you saw that students can grow 50 to 100 points in an academic year without a reading class. So without Reading Plus, we expect that by May of 2016, your Lexile will have grown between 50 and 100 points. So think about how much you could reasonably grow in 8 weeks. Is it reasonable for you to grow 20 points? Or is it more reasonable for you to grow 10 points? Set a goal that is reasonable for you. This goal will go in your goal box here. In October, when you take the STAR test at the 9-week grading period, you will see the sheet again, and your teacher will talk about what you actually scored and help you set a new goal for STAR Test 3. Now let's look at your Insight test scores and set goals for those. Your Insight test is a benchmark test, so it's only given 3 times: the beginning of the program, the middle, and the end. So your next Insight test will be in January. Let's look at your scores. How much do you think you can grow in one semester? If you are already reading at a 10.3 proficiency index, it might be reasonable to write that you will be reading at a 10.5, which is where you will be in the middle of your sophomore year. If you are reading below grade level, then it might be reasonable to add a few months to your current grade level, or even up to half a year. All of these numbers will be revisited when you take the Insight test again in January. At this time, your teacher is going to pass out the reading rate chart that we viewed a minute ago so that you can look at your words per minute currently and set a goal for your Insight test in January. To review, you will be revisiting your goal sheet every 9 weeks or so. The next time you see this page will be in October, and you will have taken the STAR assessment again. You will look at your STAR test, and then you will set a new Lexile goal for the test that you will take in December. After you take the Insight test in January, you will see this sheet again to set new goals for your Insight Test 3. Based on your numbers that happen in December and January, you may move advisories. If you have grown significantly and no longer need the Reading Plus program, then you will be moved into the ACT Prep advisory groups. So please keep your numbers in mind as you take each of your tests. Every day that you come to advisory, you need to do your absolute best in Reading Plus so that you can grow and so that you will be able to read at a higher level. If you have questions or concerns, please ask your teachers or come see me, Ms. Taylor, in 1127.